What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 24 now of the Leeds United career mode here on YouTube. And in today's episode we have two games. We have the game against Wolves, as you can see there, and then we take on Chelsea for the semi-final of the FA Cup as we search for our first final here as the Leeds United manager. Looking forward to that game, which will be coming as the second game of this double upload today. There will be two episodes of career mode out simply because I don't have a player episode or a 100 club episode already recorded to be able to edit. So what I've got to do is I've got to go and record those. So I've decided to give you guys a double upload of career mode instead. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you are looking forward to the double upload of this career mode episode. I certainly am, to give it to you guys, as it's a very interesting double upload. But the first of the double upload today is this one here, as we take on Wolves and we take on Chelsea in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Sorry if I sound a bit ill at the moment. I've got a really bad throat and I'm trying to get myself through this commentary. I've got now talk for 18 minutes over this commentary. Try my best. Apologies if I end up coughing throughout. It's literally because I'm feeling a bit down and a bit under the weather at the moment, but there's nothing I can do about that now. So I've decided to give you it anyways and just try and get my as much episodes out as I can based on the fact that I'm still ill. Trying to get it to you guys as frequently as possible, really. So like I said, double upload day. Smash that like button for this double upload day. It would really mean a lot, and it shows me great support on the series and on the channel. There is the league table going into this Wolves game though, with 4 games to play with at 8 points behind, meaning this game in my mind didn't mean anything to me. I was like, you know what, if you lose it, I ain't bothered. I'm not even bothered about these games anymore, because I think we sat pretty in third. I think we've got third place locked down, and I don't think we're going to catch the front two, even though mathematically it's still possible. But going into it, I looked at it, I was like, nah, we ain't going to catch them anyway. So I'm just going to go into this game enjoying it and just thinking to myself, we have nothing to lose. We'll just play a weaker side. As you can see on the screen there, we have a much weaker side. Matt Grimes comes in for his first appearance, I do believe, of the season, which is very frustrating. I didn't realise I actually had Matt Grimes. I didn't realise how he had a 5-star weak foot and was that good. He's only 67 rated. Had I have known that we had him sooner, I probably would have played him a bit more in the series. But at the time, I did actually notice he was in there, but I didn't know he had a 5-star weak foot and didn't know he was as good as he is. So I do regret not playing him a bit more in this series, because obviously he's only on loan at the club. He goes back to Swansea come the end of the season, which will be a bit disappointing, the fact that he hasn't played as much as I would have liked to. Basically, that was down to me. I looked at his rating, didn't think he would be able to get in the side, but I played with him in this game, and I can tell you he was a pleasure to be able to use in this game coming up here, as we did take on Wolves for the first one of this episode. And I was, like I said, I came into this not really expecting a win. I just came into it and thought, you know, I'll just keep playing the way I've been playing. It's not really an important game, this one. We can't catch the front two, and we can't lose the third place play. So I just thought we'd just come into it and just basically play football and just enjoy the game for what it was. This was actually the first game as well since the patch has come out for FIFA, meaning that the AI have the tendency to attack more, which is very nice to see as well. And I immediately felt it here straight from the first whistle. As 2 minutes into the game, Wolves, instead of playing it around their back four and looking to pass backwards, went straight forwards and had an effort on my goal, which went sailing over the bar. But it was good signs to see the AI coming at me straight from the first whistle, as I did make another mistake and they caught me off guard here. I wasn't expecting them to come as fast as they did, and basically I just wasn't ready for it, basically, and they ended up catching me off guard. And straight away after after I conceded the first chance, they got their second chance, and it should have been 1-0 to Wolves, as a fine save from our goalkeeper. I think it was Silvestri on the day, but I could be wrong there. Pushes it onto the tip of the crossbar. Went into the second half because nothing really happened after that in the first half. Straight from kickoff, I decided to, you know what, we're going to move the ball back quicker, trying to get ourselves on the front foot. Matt Grimes involved heavily. One-touch passing, brilliant passing, I have to say. Absolutely wonderful passing. And how about that for a finish from Matt Grimes? 48 minutes into this game. Quite possibly one of the best moves we've managed to put together this series so far in terms of passing, one-touch passing. It involved 3 players pretty much all the way up to the goal, and I have to say that goal has been one of my favourite ones that I've scored so far in this series. I have another one coming up soon in a next episode, or I think it might be episode after that actually, that we actually score, which becomes one of my favourites ever in FIFA 17. But this one here, this was just such a nice breath of fresh air to actually get a passing goal like I did there, something like along the lines of Barcelona and Arsenal-esque. To actually do it here with Leeds United in the Championship was wonderful to see, and it was very nicely worked by me. But 57 minutes into the game, we had a chance to make it 2-0 to us as we stole the ball, I think, with O'Kane. O'Kane's going to try and wave some space for himself. He manages to get it in the end as he goes down the left-hand side here. Cuts the ball back into the middle where Dakara's waiting. Dakara back out here to Murphy because he couldn't spin on it and shoot. Murphy's strike, though, goes straight in the hands of Hakeem in the Wolves goal, and he says, thank you very much as he catches that one. 17 minutes into the game, though, we could have easily been 1-1 as Hull created another chance. They were dangerous, I have to say. I actually enjoyed playing it for once because the AI didn't sit back and just, you know, were happy to lose 1-0. They actually came forward as Henry was so close to finding that bottom corner and making it 1-1 here. But into the 75th minute of the game now, Louis Coyle goes up the right-hand side, gets brought down in the penalty area. Definite penalty kick here, no question about it. Borthwick Jackson brings down the fullback inside the penalty area. I think he's on loan from Manchester United. I don't think they've signed him permanently, but I could be wrong there. But anyways, the Manchester United loanee / ex-Manchester United player brings down Louis Coyle in the box, and we have ourselves a penalty. But you all know how good I am at penalties, and that's not very good. As you can see, I have missed a number of them in the series so far, and I'm hoping that I wouldn't miss this one here, as we're still all in the balance. I have to say, we're only 1-0 up in this game, and Wolves did great chances to get themselves back in it. Hakeem guesses the right way, but unfortunately can't keep the penalty out for Wolves. But thankfully for us, it finds its way into the corner as Luke Murphy celebrates his goal on the day. 76 minutes in, Leeds United 2, Wolves 0, and it meant that we were going to be cruising in this one and taking 3 points that, in all honesty, didn't really matter. And to put it simply, these games that you're going to be seeing in the league are really not of anything special. It really doesn't matter. I actually play sides that I'm not really too bothered about. I play sides to get and try and do the youth academy thing, because I think I have to give 6 players or something along those lines. They're more than 10 games at the club, so I decided I was going to play a lot of the youth academy players in this one and the rest of the league games that we've got, because they don't really matter the results to us, and if we lose them it's not the end of the world, because like I said, we've already got 3rd place and we can't quite catch the front 2, as I tried to put through Dikara here, but as you can see, it actually messed up my clips and I don't quite know what happened. I think he missed the effort there, and then it ended up getting a corner from which we scored and meant it 3-0 to Leeds United here on the day. Apologies for that, I don't quite know what happened with the recording software. I can't get it back. I don't actually know. I think the car ended up having a strike, but it was straight out of Hakeem in the end, and I think I got very annoyed and frustrated with the car in the end after that one, because it was 1-on-1, and to hit it straight at Hakeem was very, very frustrating. And then Hakeem got a hand to this one as well for the Wolves goalkeeper, but this time he couldn't push it out and only could push it into the corner, as O'Kane gets himself on the score sheet on the day. Very nicely worked by him. He was good on the day, so was Matt Grimes. Both those guys haven't featured all that much for us in this Leeds United career mode, but today they were absolutely wonderful in the game as we took down Wolves by 3-0 here at home. The first game back on Legendary since the patch update. 5 shots, 5 on target for me. Wolves controlled possession. They had 55% to our 45%, but they didn't really do all that much with the ball. And the chances they had, they didn't manage to really make us pay for it, as they unfortunately hit the bar early on. And it could have been a much different game if that shot went in. If they took the lead that early, I don't know if we'd have been able to do what we did there and run away with a 3-0 victory. It was very, very harsh, I have to say, on Wolves, in all honesty, because they didn't deserve to lose that game by 3-0, but they did in the end. And as you can see here, Alex Iwobi, 2-month injury. 2 months. That's how long we were without Alex Iwobi. I forgot to show you in the last episode when he actually got injured. I showed you in this one, but we are without our young man for 2 months. So we spent 1.7 or something along those lines on Alex Iwobi, 1.7 million that is, and he's now out for 2 months, meaning he will not feature for the rest of this season, which is very, very annoying, and I can't tell and stress you enough that we have big games coming up in terms of what we've got to play. We've got this game here against Chelsea in the semi-final, then we've got the game up against, who is it, sorry, oh, sorry, the playoffs. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. The playoffs we've got coming up. So I don't actually know who we're playing in that yet. But to miss Iwobi, he will be a big miss. Just on the back of that as well, when he scored that wonderful goal in the last episode, he was starting to get into his groove here at Leeds. But unfortunately, he's picked up the injury, meaning he will not feature for the rest of this season. So very unfortunate that he's out for such a long period of time. But we've got enough replacements to come on. You know, we've got Sacco, we've got a few players in mind. I'm thinking Matt Grimes played wonderfully out on the left forwards in that last game as well, as we did have the FA Cup semi-final here. I was absolutely buzzing to play this. I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was thinking, get in, it's time for the semi-final of the FA Cup. We have a real chance here to take on another Premier League side and show them just what we are about. The player to watch, Eden Hazard, quite obviously, he is by far the best player in this, or rather this game currently at the moment. I don't mean the game of FIFA, I mean in this semi-final game. I don't quite mean, you know, the entirety of FIFA, I mean in this one fixture here. Eden Hazard is the best player, let's face it, on this pitch at current time. You know, there's not going to be a Leeds United player who's going to be better than Eden Hazard, put it that way. Willian comes close, I guess, for Chelsea. They have a number of big stars in their starting 11, so we were looking at this and thinking if we, you know, came here and just played the way that I know we're going to play, we had no pressure, we could literally just do whatever we wanted, really. Chelsea were the ones that should have to win this game in terms of, I guess, favourites, but we had nothing to lose. We came to the semi-final. Obviously, if we get through to the final, we'll have something to lose because we're in the final, but it's very much like Bradford was a few years back when they was in the English League Cup, when they were knocking teams out that were much better than themselves. But to their credit, they went and got all the way to the final, and then in the final lost by 4-0 to Swansea. So I just don't want it to happen. The same thing there is we play so well in the lead up to the final, have nothing to lose, go into the final, have everything to lose, and get smashed whoever we play in that final, if we do manage to get there past this Chelsea side that we did have to come up against here. They took no prisoners against us either. They named their strongest possible team. David Luiz, a number of players in there that I can recognise from that little huddle. You saw the team pop up on your screen just a second ago. I actually missed it, unfortunately, so I didn't quite catch the side that Chelsea had named, but I do know their front three was Willian, Costa and Eden Hazard. So that alone there has enough quality to take down this Leeds United defence. So all I hoped for was that we could just basically just give them a good show and just try and put in the best performance we possibly could. As I set it to counter-attacking as per usual. Whenever we play against a bigger side, I set them to counter-attacking, as for some reason the don't know if you saw that there. We actually messed up a little bit with the footage. I don't quite know what happened. As I thought I'd given Chelsea a penalties 25 minutes into this one, but thankfully we didn't. The referee gave us a free kick, but I thought at first he'd given them a penalty. As Sacco, 45 minutes into the game, feeds it into Chris Wood on the stroke of half-time, and I so wanted that to bury itself into the top corner. But unfortunately, you're going to see it closer here. It just goes over the bar, agonisingly for us as well, because Courtois didn't quite have it covered. And if that was a little bit lower, maybe that wrestles into the top corner. But unfortunately, it didn't. As 53 minutes into the game, Chris Wood involved again in the build-up, sorry. Nice little back heel. David Luiz makes an absolute meal of it. Doesn't clear the ball. Sacco gets inside. And I'm thinking at this point, Sacco's got to score. But he sends his strike wide and into the side net. And you're going to see it from this angle. Absolutely poor. Actually, it didn't even go into the side net. It hit the post behind the goal, not the post in the goal, which is very annoying because that should have been 1-0 to Leeds United, which is, again, so frustrating. We've missed a couple of chances here early on in this game to give ourselves a very, very good start for this one, as we managed to get another chance straight after that one, as Chris Wood has his effort, and this one goes just wide of the post. This was even closer than Sacco's, though, as I show you from a different angle coming up here now. Chris Wood, very, very long way out, takes a strike on. Courtois, honestly, on the day, didn't look to have many of these covered, as it just whistles past the post there, and we should have been able to put one of those chances away. If we'd have put one of those chances away, we would have been absolutely loving life in this game, but unfortunately we didn't manage to do it. Kante then came off the bench for Chelsea and was involved in the build-up as to their first chance, as Fabregas' strike was straight at Silvestri. You can see the clips here are a bit jumpy. I don't quite know what that is. I think at the time something was going a bit fuzzy with my Elgato when I was trying to record this. So apologies for the jumpiness in the clips, but that's just unfortunate, as Chelsea was so close to making it 1-0 there, but a fine save from Silvestri kept them out. The corner's whipped in. We try and get ourselves something out of it. Willian makes a really weird touch, in all honesty. I don't know why he tried to do that in my box. I tried not to bring him down, which I did manage to do by not doing. And then we get a free kick here in which Chelsea give it away. We're going to take this extremely quickly with Pablo Hernandez. Pablo Hernandez gives it inside to Chris Wood. Chris Wood sees the run of Alex Moat being made, giving it down the right-hand side. I'm thinking, please, Moat, just have the little bit of pace that I need you to have. But unfortunately, he doesn't have it. Tried to cut it back inside. David Luiz tracked the run every inch of the run. Made the block on the initial shot. Sacco into Joel Green. Joel Green is going to give it to Diarraga. His strike, though, is well blocked by the Chelsea Kante, I think it was in the end. Blocked it for Chelsea. So unfortunate, but we unfortunately couldn't manage to find the goal, as Chelsea would have one last chance before the 90th minute whistle was up. Fabregas should have buried the chance there in the 90th minute. Should have made it Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0 on the day, but unfortunately for Chelsea, but thankfully for us, he didn't manage to do that, as Chris Wood sent Moat down the right again, much like the last chance that we just had. This time I was thinking, please, Moat, just have that little bit of pace. I decided to run it with him rather than cut it inside. I probably should have cut this one inside, but I didn't do in the end. The strike went off target, and we went in at the full-time whistle without having a shot on target against Chelsea here at Wembley. So I guess you could say the pressure was sort of getting to me in this game. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe, you know, if we'd have had a bit better in terms of front of goal, we wouldn't have been in this position having to play extra time, which is what we should have done. If we put away our chances that we've had, because we've had a few more chances than Chelsea did on the day, we just weren't good enough to actually convert those chances, and Chelsea did have a few dangerous ones, I have to say. Silvestri made a couple of good saves to keep us in this one. Straight from the kickoff, though, as we look to get ourselves underway in the extra time of this game, Diarraga gets a lot of luck as the Chelsea man goes down, gives it into Dallas. I'm thinking, Dallas, now's your chance, son. But he ends up hitting his strike, well, not straight at Courtois. It was a good save in the end, but it's not enough power to beat someone of Courtois' standard. Joel Green down the right side now, 105th minute of this one, cuts the ball into the area, and that has to be one of the worst misses I think I've ever seen in this series so far. That was such a poor miss from Kamaru. We surely would have won the game off of that if he'd have just hit his target or hit his shot on target. I actually caught them on the break there, which is why we had so many men up forward for us. But it went to penalties this one. I was not looking forward to it. You've seen me miss how many penalties so far in this series. But Moat steps up. And what a penalty kick that is. Right into that top corner. Courtois stood still and just had to say, yep, well done. There's no way he's saving that one, as we tried to put him off here. Eden Hazard sends his penalty the same way as Moat, and it's equally as good as our number 10's penalty. Kamaru, who missed that chance in normal time, steps up and, yeah, misses. And I was thinking at this point, I'm thinking, I can't believe we just missed the chance that Kamaru did in that one. As good as it was, we could be going out on penalties here. As David Luiz steps up, and it's saved by Mikel Silvestri. Wonderful save with his foot. Oh, his leg, I guess you could say. Luiz, sorry, went down the middle. We went to the right-hand side, but managed to just save it. As Dallas steps up to take his penalty, and this time makes no mistake, sending it into the corner. Then it was the chance of Mauro Icardi of Chelsea, one of the new signings at Stamford Bridge, stepped up to take his penalty, and he sent me the wrong way with an absolutely wonderful penalty into the bottom corner. Diarraga now for us. We're all square on penalties, but Diarraga sends his penalty down the sort of left-hand side, kind of, but it was pretty much middle, and Courtois was there to meet it to make it Chelsea. All they had to do now was score to win the penalty shootout, but Matic would hit the post. So far, 2 penalty kicks have gone in, 2 penalty kicks have missed, as Joe Green steps up and our young man smashes that one into the bottom corner. Absolutely wonderful penalty for someone who's only 19 years of age, and his first big game at Wembley manages to find the bottom corner. Oscar steps up, tries a cheeky dink, and you can just guess what happens. That's what you get for trying to be such a cocky little... Well, anyways, Courtois, on the day, didn't deserve to actually lose a penalty shoot. I even saved 2 of our penalties, and there were 2 good saves as well. Well, I guess you could say good saves. We literally sent them straight at him, both of them. So the second one was better than the first one. Obviously, the first one we don't talk about. Kamal Roof just sent it straight into the hands of Courtois. The second one, though, was a good save on Diarraga, but it didn't matter in the end because Oscar tried to be a cocky little whatever you want to call him and sent his penalty over the bar with a little cheeky dink. So it meant that we are through to the final of the FA Cup, and we will be seeing Wembley again not too very soon as we go into that final where we will be playing against Everton, which I can confirm. You will see it coming up in just a few moments here as I do show you who we actually do play in the FA Cup final at Wembley, whenever that episode will be. I can't quite remember how far into the future that is. Obviously, it's going to be the back end of the season, but I think we've only got 3 3 Championship games to come after this game, meaning that we don't have too long left in the season. So we've got those 3 Championship games, then we'll have the playoffs, and then I think we'll be playing in the FA Cup final. So you've still got a long way to wait for that final if you are interested and you do want to see that. It won't be anytime soon. I think there's a couple more episodes to go before we will see the FA Cup final. I will be doing a double upload like I said today, so fingers crossed you'll enjoy that. And the second episode will be the finishing of the Championship season with the 3 games left that we still got to play. And then we will be done and ready to head into the FA Cup final and the playoffs, whatever way it chooses to do it. I'm not entirely sure the way the fixtures will fall, but I know we will probably be playing the playoffs before we meet that FA Cup final. I'm pretty sure that's the way it'll go. Hopefully anyways, because I don't want to sort of have to play playoffs in the mid and then have to play the FA Cup in between the playoffs, because that'll be very frustrating considering that we would have to switch players around for fitness and stuff, and I want to try and put my best team out for each game possible, which if I can, great, but I'm kind of thinking at the same time that they will try and bunch up the fixtures, seeing as now we are in the FA Cup final. As you can see there, we are playing Everton. Like I did mention, they beat Stoke by 2-1 to get themselves into the final. In terms of the draw that we've managed to get here with the final, we've had the sort of more difficult draw out of the 2 sides, Everton having a slightly easier one, but they've deserved as much as we have to get to this final. And at the end of the day, it's anyone's game to play for. You can only, if you buy a ticket, you can win the raffle. If you don't buy a ticket, if you don't enter it, there's no chance you're going to win. And we did get to the final, meaning we have a 50-50 chance on the day of knocking out Everton and winning the FA Cup final, which will be very nice to see if we can do that in our first season here at Leeds United. We are coming towards the end of the episode, though. Apologies if I have sounded a bit different. It really is my throat. I am really, really sore at the moment, so I've managed to get through this commentary pretty easily, but again, it's probably not been my greatest commentary that I've ever done. But yeah, apologies for that. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you as stoked for the next episode that comes out very, very soon after this one at around 6 PM UK time. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Danny, and I'm out. Adios!